It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
So, my friends, there's a county in Pennsylvania that's 906 square miles. 890 square miles is land, and 16 square miles is water. Now, what county may that be? Well, it's our own county here, Luzerne County. And, you know, some of the cities in Luzerne County, Wilkes-Barre, Luzerne, Hazleton, Kingston, Dallas, Pittston, and many more. There's so many things happening in this county. I figured, well, let's get some updated information. Hopefully we could understand why we're paying 6 bills, which is incidentally is not bad at all in the state of Pennsylvania. My guest today is Romilda Crocamo, who is the county manager. And I love that name, Romilda. I told you that.
Thank you. I was named, actually, I was named after my grandmothers. Romilda was my paternal grandmother, and Pia is my middle name, which was my maternal grandmother.
No, is that Italian?
Romilda is actually Germanic. I'm Italian, but the ILDA ending is German.
Yeah.
Which means warrior, and it's Roman warrior.
What you are?
Sometimes I feel like that.
Well, you're the 4th county manager, okay? And the county, as I mentioned, is 906 square miles. That's a lot of miles.
It is. We have a large county.
Sometimes, Romilda, we get our tax bills and we pay, okay? Well, when you go to the grocery store, if you're paying for something, you know what you're getting. If you're getting gas, you know what you're getting any product. But in our case, when you're paying your 6.354 mils, you want to know what you're getting. And
right.
There's so many things happening in the county, and we could spend a lot of time. But basically, in general, as the county manager, your function is to what?
To manage the county. There's approximately 1,400, sometimes more employees. We have about 122 miles of roads. We have almost 800 bridges. So it's overseeing all that. We run a prison, we run children and youth, the Area Agency on Aging, drug and alcohol, mental health. So we have an Office of Law. So it really runs the gamut of what the county manager has to do.
How do you keep informed, and how do you keep appraised of what's going on so there's transparency between you and the division heads?
Well, I meet with each division head individually. We call them one-on-one meetings. Matter of fact, I have one this afternoon with one of the division heads. Then I meet the division heads as a group, and then I meet the department heads and the division heads together as a group. I have to rely on my division heads, and they are the experts in their areas, but I need to know what's going on. There are times I obviously need to give input. And what I'm trying to do and really, really work on this, not just between the administration and council, but also within the county, is to have the division and the department heads work together, not in silos, bring them together, because there's a lot of overlap and we need to have communications. And I actually meet with various division heads together. Mm-hmm. So a lot of meetings, but they're worthwhile.
In terms of input, I know when I was the chairman of the board of the college, Luzerne County Community College, you as a trustee, you try to bring input, and we had a great board. You have a good council.
I do. I work very well.
The council, you got some strategic people there. I'm sure can bring a lot of talents to the thing. How do you then, when you're getting input, all right? Because I'm sure there's 1,000 ideas you get, or people say you should do this, etc. How do you get input and then put that to use?
Well, I want my division and department heads, if there's an issue, to let me know, keep me informed. And I want different scenarios and different possibilities and solutions. I believe there's a solution and multiple solutions to every problem. I want their opinion, and I want evidence. And part of that is because I'm trained as a lawyer.
Yes.
So come in, make your argument, but it needs to be backed by evidence, and that's pretty much how I deal with the issues that come up.
And I liked the last time we did a show because you said, as a lawyer, which you brought up, you deal with facts.
Correct.
Okay, and that's the most important thing. And sometimes facts could be ugly things, you know, but you have to address them, all right? Now, as any organization, there's, like you had mentioned, so many things that are involved. There is the American Rescue Plan Act, which is the ARPA plan, came to about $113 million.
Close to,
yeah.
yes.
And then you had external projects, which were like close to $70 million, and internal projects. Now, how did you determine how to distribute that amount of money?
Well, County Council was in charge of the distribution. And we use a consultant, booth consultant, and the administration meets with our consultants every week. We just submitted our yearly report within the last week. But what the consultant, who has various clients all across the country that they're dealing with ARPA monies, what they said to me was Luzerne County, out of all their clients, is the county that gave most of the money out to either other municipalities or private businesses or nonprofits. So kudos to our county council for actually distributing the money out to all of the county. So the projects that we're doing internally, we make the administration makes the recommendations to council on what can be used. Obviously, you know, if we're using ARPA money, principal money, it has to meet certain requirements. We have ARPA interest money that doesn't have to meet those requirements, so we can play a little bit. But we're really trying to focus on our roads and some of the building needs that we have.
Is that where the the money is going?
Well, we made the recommendation to do certain projects, and I believe it was about 17 million that the county council allocated to internal projects. We now have a little bit over $6 million in interest money that needs to be allocated. We submitted.
Could you allocate that any place?
Any place,
okay.
any place.
So that could go into the general fund?
No, we have to use it for well, it is interest.
The interest,
yes.
yeah.
So we submitted about $10 million worth of projects that we think that the county needs, that we can use that money. But it's up to council how they want to use it.
Okay, how does a municipality then, you know, request some fundings?
Well, they did not, council has not opened up any other funding procedure because you don't need to go through the application process that they did for the principal money. The interest money, we can do whatever we want with it. Some municipalities have sent letters to council making requests, but there's nothing formal yet.
So the council determines where this money.
County council determines.
So
that.
how will they get the information of where to put this money?
Well, they send it to me. I send it to council. They'll probably have to have it on an agenda and have some debate on it.
Mm-hmm. The money mostly was, you said, used in, where has some of the money gone so far?
Well, I can tell you in the southern part of the county, about $17 million has come to the southern part of the county. Close to $5 million is in the back mountain. So they really distributed across the county.
Yeah. So we look at the county annex here in Hazleton, okay? Long overdue. I think it's great. So let's talk about the county annex and to what that means for this area down here. You know, for a while, I don't know if it's true anymore, you happen to live in this area.
I
okay?
do. I do.
So, you know, we were always looked at the southern county as the forgotten part of the county, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think that's been the case, you know, with you and Pedri, okay? In fact, I feel it's not the case, but in that case with Hazleton Annex and working with Mayor Cassatt, who worked very diligently to get this together. Tell me about what is what that county annex means to the southern Luzerne.
Well, I remember 30 years ago when I started out as a young lawyer, and I was able to file documents. We had a personetary's office, a clerk of court, register of wills, recorder of deeds here on Broad Street in Hazleton. I could walk down the block. I was with Ustanowski and Marusak. I could walk down the block and file papers. And then all of a sudden that stopped. We have a really large county. It's about 75% the size of Rhode Island. And I am very aware that there are challenges for people to get to Wilkes-Barre, to get their county services. So what started out, the idea was really to get gun permits here in the Hazleton area. I just got appointed county manager. I'm at a viewing, I'm at the grocery store. Everybody's coming up to me, when are we going to be able to get gun permits in Hazleton? So the original idea was just to have a location for gun permits. And as it happened, the Hazleton Police Department was moving out of City Hall. And the mayor reached out to me, and so it went from gun permits that you can get here at City Hall to having a filing office. We have a personetary, we have a clerk of court, we have a register of wills, we have a recorder of deeds here at the City Hall. The veterans have office hours. Our assessment, we collected taxes here. We need to make it as accessible. We're public servants. We are doing a service for the public, and I thought the City Hall would be really a great location. You can do your city work, and then you can come and do any kind of county work, and it's doing really well. The hours are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Some are by appointment. You can check on our website. And do whatever you need to do here.
Some of the people that are employed, do they go back to?
Yes.
Okay, so you're using the same people.
Mm-hmm.
I have the sheriff's, Hazleton, you have the sheriff's department, assessment office, the treasurer's office.
Yes.
Pathonetary clerk of courts.
Correct.
Now, what's the pathonetary?
It's for civil filings.
Okay.
And the clerk of courts are for criminal filings and dependency matters, which is CYS matters.
And recorder of deeds, register of wills, clerk of orphans court. What's
Correct. That's wills and estates.
Okay. Marriage license application, know what that is. And Veterans Affairs, and certified marriage licenses.
Correct.
So if you need a marriage license that you don't have, you can go to here?
You can go to City Hall.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this is really so much help for this area, just saving people driving into Wilkes-Barre. Folks, I'm talking to Romilda Crocamo, who is the county manager. She's the 4th county manager. She mentioned we have 906 square miles, a lot of things happening in the county. Just to bring you up to date, if you have any questions or comments, my email is sam@ssptv.com. And I appreciate you making the Sam Lesante Show the #1 talk show in northeastern Pennsylvania. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks. Remember 24/7 ssptv.com and our YouTube channel. All of our locally neighborhood programs are there, tons of them, and we appreciate you, giving us the ratings that you did. We did that Susquehanna polling and research and showed that all of our local shows are #1 watched, and we appreciate that. Now, speaking of information, we have a number of report shows. We have the school district report, the Luzerne, visiting Luzerne report, Schuylkill report, the mayor's report, Hazleton and Pets. So these reports, and starting in August as well, we'll be having the Luzerne County Community College report. This is to bring information to you because, you have enough to do than to worry about what's happening in all these different things. But it's nice to know where your money is going. We have a millage here in Luzerne County at 6.354. So where's my money going? Well, we have today Romilda Crocamo, who is the county manager, talking about this interesting things. Before I get to the, activities that we had, when you're putting, one thing that I've always looked for with my managers, Johnny and I would look for the accountability factor, okay? And not that you want to put anyone on the spot, but how do you address the accountability factor? This is a budget you had, are you using it properly? And then, when you have your division heads knowing what's going on.
Well, we're going through that process right now. The budget has to be submitted to council in October. We started on that already, budget and finance. And I have initial meetings with the division and the department heads, and they have to account for the monies that they're asking. I sent a letter to my division and department heads, once again saying we're going to freeze expenses. The plan is to submit a budget to council that will not have a tax increase, which means that my department and division heads really, really have to fine tooth comb, review their expenses. The world has changed since the pandemic, and we really have to focus on making the Luzerne County government more efficient and cost effective so that services aren't reduced. Kudos to my division and department heads last year. They did it. It was just the beginning. We're going to do it again this year. And they know that we're in it together, and they have to be accountable. They have to convince me and the head of our budget and finance exactly why they are asking for their allotment for whatever items they're asking for.
That's a tough task.
It is.
Because you have inflation, and you have services that you have to provide,
yes.
And now you're asking me to, keep the same budget, and then what happens is it going to affect our services? Okay,
right.
I think that's where it really takes some creative thinking, don't you think?
It does, and what I said earlier is I am really, really pushing for our departments and our divisions to work together, so that if there is some overlap,
yes. Yeah.
let's work together, and then that way we can really streamline our expenses.
That's very smart. That is extremely smart, because here again, that's where you get balance sometimes,
right,
in terms of budget. Because as a department head, and you're proud of your department, and you're doing all the services, Romilda, I may need an extra 10,000, 50,000, okay, et cetera. But for them to hold that, kudos to them. That's
right. And we're actually going to step up our grant applications. I have a committee that I'm assembling of different individuals and different departments and divisions to work together so that we maximize the grants that we can receive. And we'll be making more grant applications. And if we don't get them this year, we're going to apply again next year.
Okay, now you said you have $6 million a year in interest.
Right, for the ARPA money.
Yeah, can't that filter into?
It is going to filter in,
yeah,
but we have to be very careful because it's a one-shot deal, basically. And we really, what's important is if that the system and the processes we create
sustainable.
It has to be sustainable.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the key. Yeah, I mean, it's like you get the gift, but
right.
Will I get the gift next year?
Yeah, and we're not. I mean, that was I hope that there's not another pandemic.
Yeah.
So this was a one-shot deal. So we have to really use that wisely and not have that influence our processes. Our processes have to be efficient.
Romilda, when I was at the college as chairman, we had a fantastic grant writer. Okay, because they're worth their weight in gold sometimes. I'm sure you have.
And we do. Michelle Sparrett, she's top notch, and she's actually really entrenched in the ARPA grant. The management of that grant, because it comes through our Treasury Department, U.S. Treasury, is really, really a daunting task. It's very tedious. And we have to make sure that everything is in place because we can get audited, and I anticipate that we will get audited. So we have to have literally every I dotted and T crossed. That cliche applies to this grant.
You know, it's interesting because I talked about input. Now, you've been the county manager, what, 2 years?
Since May of 2023.
Okay. So when you look at the entire picture and you see, you have some visions, what do you think, what are some of the things that you'd like to see in looking in the future for Luzerne County as a county manager?
Well, I had the fortune of working very closely with Dave Pedri. I was the chief county solicitor, and I worked side by side with him. So I learned a lot from him. He was definitely a visionary and wanting to move Luzerne County forward.
He did.
And he did.
Yeah.
He was very, very successful at it, and he did it with dignity and grace.
Yes.
We really have to fine-tune our infrastructure. Infrastructure leads to economic development, and what I would like to see is economic development. I would love developers to come here with jobs that are highly skilled jobs, high-paying jobs. So we need to really firm up our foundation to do that.
Yes.
So that's a project that I'm really going to put forward within 2025. I think there has to be some regionalization. Especially with our infrastructure and our transportation. So I'm hoping that I can reach out to counties, surrounding counties, so that we can have a very fluid transportation infrastructure to get people to their jobs. There's some other things that I'd like to do in 2025. We're going to upgrade our website. We'll have more interactive portions on the website. I'm not really technology savvy, but I know we'll have things like a better calendar system so people will know what's going on in the county. We'll have things like virtual tours of the courthouse, which is just, it's an architectural gem. We should be very proud of our courthouse. We'll have an intranet that will make communications within county staff a lot more efficient. The public may not know about it, but we'll be able to communicate better internally. We're reaching out, we're started talking to our community college. Luzerne County Community College is just fantastic.
Thank you.
I
built it.
I know, it is. To me, it's a hidden gem. I don't know why people don't shout about it. It's wonderful. But they did a tour. They gave us a tour. What they do at that community college is extraordinary. So we're just starting to talk to them to have some sort of co-op and some arrangement with the school to maybe be part of our process.
In closing, I understand that you were doing a lot of dancing at the Rockin the Mountain, and I said, there's Romilda looking, whatever dance she's doing a great job. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, Rockin the Mountain is another project that we brought in the southern part of the county. Dave Pedri started Rockin the River, a concert series that takes place along the Susquehanna River. Beautiful, beautiful setting. And when I first started, I sat down with Jen Pecora, who lives in the southern part of the county. I said, we have to get Alan in because I want to do one concert in the southern part of the county in Hazleton. So we brought Alan in. We reached out to the mayor, and the mayor, of course, said, one concert. I want three.
Yeah,
so
that's Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's just wonderful to work with. Yeah. And we had 3 concerts at City View Park, and I want to tell you, they were fantastic. Yes. Yeah. We had over 1,500 the first night, we had over 1,900 the second night, and we had over 2,200 the third night, and it was just a great, great evening. And we'll have more next year.
Good. Now, I'm available for a concert to sing.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you my contract rate. It's like $60,000. But because I know you guys, it's $80,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're giving me a deal.
Romilda Crocamo, my friend, she's the county manager. As you can see, things are really doing well. So you know where your investment's going. It's always nice to know that. If you have any questions or comments, please email them to me, sam@ssptv.com. Be more than happy to pass them on. We'll see you next time.